Hey bakers! Welcome back to another video of Bletty Bakes. Today we will be baking cinnamon rolls, but first let's get into the history of it.
Cinnamon rolls, also called Kanelbullar, were originated in Sweden and were really popular around the 1920s.
The reason for this popularity was because after World War II, ingredients like sugar, butter, flour, cinnamon, they weren't so expensive, so it could make an amazing dessert. Ever since the 1920s, this dessert has been worldwide known as a Swedish delicacy. And now what you've all been waiting for, let's get baking.
Here are the ingredients that we will be using for this recipe. Flour,
Brown sugar,
milk,
pearl sugar,
butter,
white sugar,
cinnamon,
fresh yeast,
and 2 eggs. Crumble 35 grams of fresh yeast into a bowl. Then add a few tablespoons of milk and stir it into the yeast. It looks something like this.
Add half a cup of melted butter into the mix.
Mix.
Add 1.5 cups of milk. Add 1 egg.
Mix.
Now add half a cup of white sugar.
Perfect, just like that. Of course, a pinch of salt. Now, time for the most important step, the flour. We have to add about 6.25 cup of flour. Once it starts to get hard to whisk, be prepared to start kneading. Knead for about 10 to 15 minutes until it looks something like this. Cover it with a piece of cloth and
Let it rise.
for about 30 minutes.
While the dough is rising, make the filling.
Add about half a cup of softened butter for the filling. Again, add about half a cup of brown sugar. Of course, add some cinnamon, the most important ingredient. Mix. Let's see if our dough has risen after about 25 to 30 minutes. Wow. It should rise right back up. Add some flour on an empty surface to roll the dough out.
Roll it out.
It should end up looking like a rectangle. It should end up looking like a rectangle, just like
this.
Now take the filling and start putting it on the dough.
Should be covering every part of the dough.
Now start rolling the dough the long way. Grab some string or floss to make it easier to cut the cinnamon rolls and get that perfect cut. Now what you want to do is put it under, cross it over like that, and then pull it just like that, and then you'll get that perfect little roll.
Boom.
It's a dish that you're gonna be baking your cinnamon rolls in. Butter it up so they don't stick. Placing your rolls in the dish, just like that. It look like something like this when it's full. And now we're gonna go ahead and cover it for again about 30 minutes and let them rise. Glaze that we're gonna put before putting the rolls in the oven, we're gonna need 1 egg. Now add about 2 tablespoons of water and mix it together. Now it's time to check on our cinnamon rolls that have been rising for the past 30 minutes. Wow! Let's put now our egg and water mix onto the cinnamon rolls. Just like that. Look like this, soaked in that mixture. Time to put it in the oven. Put it into a preheated oven at 220 degrees. With that. Just like that. About 6 to 8 minutes. This step is optional, depending on how you like yours, but we will be making a glaze to add after the cinnamon rolls are out of the oven. So first we'll be adding about half a cup of icing sugar. Then add about a tablespoon of milk. We mix. After you mix, it should look like something like this. It kind of depends on what consistency you want it to be, but we don't really want it too thick. Now that they're done, we're gonna take them out. Wow, guys, look at that.
Look at that, guys.
Wow. This is how they're looking.
Amazing.
And now we will be adding the glaze on top.
Yes. Should I just directly put it?
Wow. That looks amazing. That looks amazing.
Wow, this looks amazing. Now we're going to try it.
Cheers. So
That's
good.
amazing.
Bye.
Yummy.
Hello. Add 1 egg. Once it starts getting harder to whisk, get ready to put those hands. Wait, no, that sounds weird. Mmm. Yummy. Now, time to get the first piece.
Bye.
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 Now, time to get the first piece.
Yeah.